Well, the problem is emerging markets doesn't know what to react to yet. We've had so many headlines. We've had a start, we've had a stop, we've had a stall, we've had a delay. And net, we still don't know what the end game is for EM economies and how their relationships with the US are going to be because it's unclear how the US is going to move forward. So just as quickly as you've had headlines talking about big aggressive tariffs, you've had members of the administration come in and walk those back. And so what you're left with is a lot of uncertainty that's really dampening sentiment for the US economy and at the same time, not really leading to any move forward for emerging markets either. And so we
All
think
right.
we're in a pattern of a lot of uncertainty for at least the next 3 to 6 months.
Jay, for emerging markets and the companies in emerging markets, right? They're kind of suffering from the same angst, anxiety, and also uncertainty, if not paralysis, that American companies are as well, right? Because they also don't know what the path is ahead for tariffs, right? How this gunfight is going to evolve, and therefore it's hard for them to make any sorts of decisions with money, investments, etc., right? And I think the big risk is literally we've already seen the front loading by a lot of companies in America and probably outside as well ahead of the tariffs. If we don't know, or if we think, this uncertainty could lead to even more front running in terms of stocking, which could end up being literally dead stock on the shelves. I don't know. But for EM companies especially, right, there was a time when I think the thinking was, look, maybe there's a place we can run and hide as long as we're not in the line of fire, right, U.S. and China. But when reciprocal tariffs kick in, if and when they do, then there's nowhere to hide, even for EM, right?
That's exactly right. There is nowhere to hide when the muzzle velocity coming out of the US is so high and the direction is everywhere all at once at the same time. It's unclear whether or not the next wave is going to be a precursor to a deal or a precursor to an even bigger stick approach rather than a carrot approach. And with that, what you end up having is a paralysis in terms of how CFOs, how CEOs want to manage their company's long-term outlook. And what you're left with is actions that are done at the margin, smaller moves while we wait for this resolution. And in the interim, the leaders of other countries might have to show a meaningful long-term plan that gives some anchor for forecasts of economic outlook, forecasts for growth outlook, forecasts that businesses can invest off of. And that we think is more likely to come from China and or Europe rather than the US. And until those things happen, we're still in this period of high risk, high uncertainty, and what we're going to end up is a lot of risk premium that's going to be embedded in markets and a very unclear medium-term trends.